I just think this is brilliant. About a year ago,
Yeah.
I bought something very, very similar to this, only it's smaller. And all it did was cook rice.
Yes.
And I will tell you, it's one of the greatest things I ever bought because I make
at this.
rice beautifully now. This is our Kitchen HQ 5-cup electric multi-cooker, which means doesn't go on a burner, doesn't have to go on a stove.
Nope.
It can go anywhere, and you will make the fluffiest, most delicious rice you have ever had. It comes in black, and it comes in white. But in addition to that, you could do soups, you could do chili, you could do pasta, you could do veggies. I mean, literally, you could do anything. And what I love about it is that it's all self-contained. You want to make sushi rice, you can do that as well.
Totally.
It is all
rice.
all self-contained, so if the stove is busy, or you don't feel like heating up the stove, you can utilize this and you can get this incredible, incredible cooker. So there's a couple things I wanted to show you about. I'm gonna step to your right. So here it is, right here. This is the cooker. Now you have your choice of using it like this, right, as a smaller cooker, but it also has a steamer insert, which also fits in there. And now, if I wanted to reheat veggies, if I wanted to reheat a taco, whatever it is that I wanted to put in there, I can steam that. I could do dumplings. I could do all that stuff. And the lid goes right on top. It has a little bit of a valve in the top that allows the steam to escape. And look at the size of this. It is perfect, all right? It has two settings. One is very warm and the other is hot. We'll boil water. This day only, $24.
It's awesome. And you know,
excuse me.
You know, you mentioned it. So even if you use it just as a rice cooker, like I did as my first demo, if it's rice, brown rice, quinoa, but you get the steamer basket as well. Now you can do quick steaming. So you get all the recipes. I made a bunch of recipes. You can steam rice and steam fish on top at the same time. Perfect spiced rice or brown rice. You could even do a quick pasta in here. You could do your quinoa, your oatmeal. I think a lot of home cooks, for whatever reason, sometimes have a hard time cooking rice and grains and oatmeals. Now you've taken the guesswork out of it. You just follow the instructions on the recipe that I made for you specifically, and you got it. But you also get that steamer basket. So now I'm cooking with flavor, stock, wine, water, and not fat. So I'm steaming my veg, even from frozen, those shrimp or dumplings. It's a great little steamer basket where you could do the quinoa on the bottom, the shrimp on top, simmer away some meatballs, keep your chili hot for game day. It's just that kind of everything in one package.
And it's the perfect size at
and
five,
it's the perfect size.
Cup. So you don't have to use all 5 cups if you don't want to, but if you just bought it as a rice cooker, I'm telling you it's worth it. But remember, you could do so many other things. I was thinking, you know what would be nice for too? Thanksgiving, to keep your gravy warm.
Totally.
Right? I mean, because nobody wants cool gravy, right? Or you could do soups. You could obviously do chilies. You can cook in this thing. I mean, you could do anything that you really want in a 5-cup capacity, which is the perfect size, especially for our empty nesters out there.
And look,
I don't need a big
is
giant
what you
one.
need it to be. If you need it to be a rice cooker, absolutely. If you need it to just hold the temperature of your cornbread and let the steam do the work, absolutely it will do that. If you want to use it as a cooker and actually cook the chili and then keep your cornbread hot on top, absolutely. If you want to make your quinoa, brown rice, pastas, you can do all of that. So I like little units like this because it's the right size. It's easy to use, guy. Notice the controls. It's just low and high. It's easy, easy, easy to use. And it is what you need it to be. If you need a rice cooker, this is it for you. If you want a multi-cooker, this is it for you. If you want a steamer basket for dumplings and shrimp and fish, vegetables, this is for you. If you want just a pot to keep your soups warm, look at my chicken noodle soup bubbling away.
And I want you to see that we're at a rolling boil here, all right? So it gets hot.
It gets hot.
And again, maybe somebody's not feeling well and you just want to keep some soup on the stove. Right?
And I like this too, Guy, because you can use the 2 settings. You can bring it up to a roaring boil, and then you can knock it down to low. Do you see what I did? So you can go high to low, and that's
White will sell out first, by the way. I got 500 left of that, and a few more in the black. But this is going to go, all right, at this price. I mean, listen,
man.
My son, Danny, bought a rice cooker about, I don't know what it was, 6 months ago. He paid $40 on Amazon.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I probably have something like that.
Sure.
And he's like, well, we already bought it because they love kids. I don't know what it is, but the kids love rice. And it's cheap, right? And he's now lives in an apartment, so he makes rice like 3 nights a week. I'm like, dude, come on. Well, he does, but I love that. You know, he'll call me and he'll ask me, like, Dad, should I get this or should I get that? And every time I give him my advice, he'll be like, yeah, typical, you buy the expensive one. And he likes to buy the cheap one. No, he's on a budget. But here's our beautiful rice.
Look at that.
And what's nice too, Chef, is it'll stay warm.
It'll stay warm. and this is foolproof. I think a lot of home cooks have a hard time with rice. They don't know the ratio of rice to water.
Oh, they burn it.
And they burn it, and they don't know, do I leave the lid on and let it steam? It's perfect rice. Now, this is the same white rice I just showed you, but I added some spices like turmeric and chili, and simple. You're gonna do your white rice, your basmati rice, your brown rice, your quinoa, your oatmeal. Even if it's just as your rice cooker, it's great.
Yeah.
If you use it as a cooker and steamer, it's wonderful. If you use it to keep things hot, perfect. This little cooker is what you need it to be. I think it should be in every kitchen. It's just awesome.
It's a customer appreciation price, all right?
Yep.
So we dropped the price from 34 to 24 and change. You can get it home. Think about the times where
so good.
maybe you're entertaining and you have no stovetop
Yep.
left, right? You got all the burners going, especially around Thanksgiving where you have things going everywhere in the oven. You have an extra pot that heats itself that you can plug in anywhere. If you want to put, it'd be really great over the holidays to put like your hot cider.
Totally.
Right? If you want to do mulled wine, you could do that in there as well. All you need to do is put whatever ingredients are in there, put the lid on. And remember, with the extender and the strainer, you can steam virtually anything. You can put a piece of fish on one level.
Totally.
And then you can put your veggies underneath and you can do multi-layer cooking.
And I made a recipe where you can actually put the quinoa, a frozen piece of fish or shrimp. Your meal is done. The quinoa is cooking on the bottom, the shrimp or the fish is steaming on top. So it's one of those things. There's the quinoa. Perfect quinoa, please,
All right,
look.
look at this. I want you
and
to
you
see
just
this.
fluff it up.
And quinoa can be very sticky, but I wanted you to look at this.
This is light,
This
fluffy.
is light. God, I haven't had quinoa in so long, and I love it. It's such a good, is it a grain? I think it's a grain, right?
It's a grain. And you know what? You made a good point. Stuff like rice, quinoa, brown rice, it's affordable. It's a great affordable side to a meal. You don't have to fear cooking that quinoa or the rice. It's not gonna stick together. You're gonna get the recipes that I created just for this cooker, and you're gonna love it.
And then what we did, which is great, Chef, we did another level. We did shrimp. And I will
Look at
grab,
that.
I don't know, I'll just
And
use
it's
the
steamed
spoon.
shrimp, Guy. So you can cook with less fat because I'm relying on the power of steam. The quinoa cooks on the bottom, the shrimp is steaming on top. How cool is that?
One pan to clean.
One pan to clean.
Look at that. Come on, really? Look at how beautiful
And I
that
like
looks.
it too because it's not hard to use. There's two settings, low and high. Once you follow the recipes and get the hang of it, it's super, super easy. It's just an intuitive way to either cook or make rice or hold a temperature or to steam.
We are getting very, very, very
really
busy.
good.
My producer Rob just said, he goes, I got 900 left total. So I don't know what color you want, but here's what I wanted to show everybody. We got mac and cheese in here. And you know, mac and cheese is one of those things that needs to be hot.
Yep.
You know, listen, I can eat cold pizza any day of the week, but not cold mac and cheese, right? It's like cold rice.
Yep.
Nobody wants that. So this enables you to keep everything nice and hot. I don't know, somebody did overtime on the mac and cheese today.
And by the way, Guy, you make a good point because you can just use this to keep the temperature of your foods. Let's say you made that mac and cheese and your partner's coming home late or your kids are coming home late. You can leave it in here, it's gonna stay warm. So sometimes, this is what I mean. This little cooker is what you need it to be. If you want it just to hold the temperature of your foods, it's great. If you want it to be your rice cooker, it's amazing. Or quinoa, great. If you want it to be your steamer basket, it'll do that too. So it's just one of those versatile little appliances that you're going to use. Rice pudding, warm rice pudding.
Well, you know what? And again, it could be your mashed potatoes. It could be your side dish.
Look how beautiful that
All right,
is.
hold on.
I got to find you a clean ladle.
Here, I'll use this spoon right here.
There we go.
I just want to see the consistency of it. Look at this.
How good is that?
So if you love rice pudding, or if you like to do oatmeal, if you like to do, you know what I'm a big fan of, and I haven't had in a long time? Cream of wheat.
Yeah.
I love cream of wheat.
Totally.
Love that. So you can make
Even
that kind of
warm
stuff.
oatmeal is
And the nice
beautiful.
thing is, if the kids get up later, you can have their oatmeal just staying warm on setting number 1. And when the kids come out, they can just serve themselves oatmeal as they go. I mean, it really is brilliant. And remember, you're not using any stove space. It's minimal cost to run, all right? Because it's not, you know, this is not a 2,000 watt machine. It just keeps everything nice and warm, keeps it hot. You can boil in this. Ooh, that's fancy.
Now you see what you do, Guy.
You're a fancy man.
I'm a fancy person. What can I tell you? You put a little cinnamon sugar on there, and you're right. You're going to do your oatmeal. You're going to do your rice. You're going to do your quinoa. Again, I think a lot of home cooks have a hard time just with rice and quinoa and cooking grains and things like that. This takes the guesswork out of it. Everything we've done here is light, is fluffy. So it is what you need it to be. If you need a rice cooker, this is it. If you want to drink some rice pudding like Guy, this is it.
Is it all
or
right?
oatmeal.
Can I drink the rice pudding?
Be careful, man. It's delish.
Damn, that's good.
I've got a spoon for you if you want, but hey, you can
It's in a drinking glass.
use the steaming basket too.
It's my Friday.
It's your
So
Friday here.
I'm having a nice rice pudding cocktail.
We're having a warm rice pudding, cold ice cream.
See, that's another thing I have not
Isn't that
had.
cool?
I have not tasted that in so long since I was a kid. My dad loved rice
nice
pudding.
warm.
But you know, you get older and you don't eat a lot of carbs and blah, blah, blah. That is ridiculous.
It's worth it. And it's nice warm.
It is worth it.
It's worth it.
Wow.
And again, I can't emphasize this enough. If you need a little portable cooker, it's doing the job. If you need a rice cooker, it's doing the job. If you need something to make a super stew and keep the temperature, it's doing that job. If you need a steamer, it's got the basket. So you're making the quinoa on the bottom, steaming the shrimp or the fish on top, cooking with less fat, and using the lid. You get all the recipes. So I like little appliances like this because it is whatever you need it to be. And you're right, Guy, we always need that extra pot or pan to come the holiday.
So just a few ideas. So we did rice, and if you just bought it as a rice cooker, you're doing yourself a great service by buying it because it makes life so easy. We also we heated up leftovers, whatever it is you want to heat up.
I got my chili on the bottom.
And cornbread on top.
And steaming that cornbread on top.
Look at this soup. Look at that rolling boil inside there on that
Beautiful.
soup, right? So if you have somebody that's not feeling well, you can leave this on the lower setting so they can eat whenever they want. We did saffron rice. We did shrimp over quinoa. We did macaroni and cheese. We did dessert. I mean, guys, you could do whatever you want, but remember, what I love about this most is the size of it.
Yep.
Having a 5-cup is great for our customer because our customer is a lot of empty nesters.
Yep.
They don't have the kids as much. When they entertain, then they could pull this out and use it for the gravy or whatever.
Sure.
But on a daily basis, you could cook your whole dinner in that
100%.
one pot. In that one pot.
You could put the rice on the bottom or the quinoa or the brown rice. You could put a piece of fish on top, let it steam in the steaming basket. And even though it's a 5-cup capacity, you said it, Guy, look, if you're an empty nester, you don't have to cook all 5 cups. You could cook 1 cup. You know, so it is whatever you need it to be. It's one of those cookers that once you get it, you start using it in different ways. And that's the kind of versatility you look for.
I love it's funny, I cook, you know, now it's just me, Danny moved out, living with his girlfriend now and stuff, but rice is one of the few things that I like to make in small batches.
Yeah, make 1 cup.
Rice doesn't really hold after a day or two.
Make a cup.
So if it's just for you and your sweetie, make a cup, make 2 cups.
Sure.
Remember, what is it, 2 to 1, right?
Yeah,
Liquid
simple.
and rice.
And you get the recipes, so you know what to do.
My best buddy right here. All right, we've got our today's special coming up. If you love